I've really been enjoying driving this car more so than I thought. It's actually a pretty speedy car. We just were going like 120 in one of these little backcountry roads. It's been a joy to drive. It's handling quite well. What's that? Oh shit! Oh my god, dude! I think we're getting pulled over. Well, see you guys in Austrian prison. Hope the food's good.
Step out of the car, slowly. Let me see your hands. Hi, James.
Hey everyone, I'm James Reeves. You're watching Jim Port's Dumb Channel, Dumb Name. We're here in Deutsch-Wagram, Austria. I've got a car for a week that I'm borrowing from my friend Martin. What the hell is this? Actually, this is a Mira Gino, aka here in Europe, it's called a Trevis. I'm gonna say Trevis because I'm an American. It could be the Trevis or the Trevis or some shit like that. What does this look like to you? It looks like maybe a Fiat 500 or perhaps a Mini Cooper. This is a Daihatsu, Japanese car, but it was given an Italian-sounding name, the Trevis, because just like the design of the car, Daihatsu was shooting for like an Italianate vibe with this to mimic basically the Fiat 500. But ironically, as someone who has driven a Fiat 500, I think I like this car better, and I'll explain why. Because I'm going to show you this thing actually kicks so much ass you'll probably go blind. And let's start with getting in the car. Look at this. Tell me what you notice. 90-degree opening for the doors. It's easy to drive, it's easy to park, it's easy to get in and out of. We've got all kinds of shit in there. We're gonna have to clean this thing out. Let's run to the car wash. We're actually illegally parked because we staged the whole shot. It's like, you know, oh, this is my first time seeing the car and we have it illegally parked behind a restaurant. Come on, Ryan, let's go. Let's get this thing washed. Interesting little feature that I noticed. This car comes with a Momo steering wheel, the aftermarket parts company. The interior, very simple. Although I am aware that they made like higher level trims that may have even had wood grain or something. So this seems to be pretty basic interior, but that's funny with the Momo. Got the whiteout gauges, 156,000 kilometers on this thing. They said they've had no trouble with it whatsoever. Fires right up. Has an aftermarket stereo, little cubby right there, plus a glove box. Plus a bunch of storage under here. People have been looking for dials and not screens and touch screens and bullshit like that. This is an all analog car. And look at that, you even got, I think Martin's got his purse in here. Oh my gosh. Dude, we could pay for the car wash with this. Oh my God, Martin, he's got a substantial amount of money in here. Martin's little coin purse. I love it. You can just kind of drive between the pumps. You can maneuver. That's the nice thing about it. Yeah, here's the wash entrance. Let me give you a little background on the Mira Gino and the Trevis. They're the same car, but not really. The Mira Gino is part of the Daihatsu Mira family. Most Miras are as bland as a Taylor Swift song and look something like you'd see in a 16-bit Mega Man game. That changed with the introduction of the Mira Classic, the Gino's short-lived predecessor. It was only around for a couple years, just weird enough to stand out by itself, and that DNA carried over into the Gino. The Gino is a Keiji Dosha vehicle, or a K car, which in Japan means the owner gets insurance and tax breaks in exchange for strict limits on size and max engine displacement, currently 660cc. These things were made for Tokyo, not Texas. Anyways, the first generation Gino launched in 1999 and gave buyers some real variety. You could get turbo or naturally aspirated engines, the 1-liter Mira 1000 variant, 5-speed manual transmissions, 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive, and even 3-door versions. This first gen ran until 2004. The second gen, which the Trevis is based on, came out in 2004, ditched the turbo options, just naturally aspirated engines, 58 horsepower. The 3-door option was canned as well, so you could only get this as a 5-door hatchback as I'm driving here. For a few short years, Daihatsu sold this car in Europe under a different name, Trevis. The Trevis has a 1-liter engine, left-hand drive. The German-based auto blog AutoBuild gave it the warmest possible German review. However, the entire review was based under the assumption that this car was made for women. Look, first of all, settle down, Germany. I've been to Berlin. I know what you people get up to. You are the San Francisco of Europe. relax. Funny enough, the 1-liter engine makes the same 64 horsepower as the turbo first-gen Gino. That's going to be your top trim unless you can find the Hello Kitty edition. This was real, by the way. Sanrio signed off on it. These cars are pretty reliable. It's cleaning up quite well. Now, here's the interesting part about this. If I remember correctly, I think you can get one of these delivered for, like, in this condition, delivered to the United States for $2,500. According to my buddy Aaron at Bulldog Auto, you could get this car for like $2,500 to $3,000. If you wanted a really nice one, like one that was in great shape, $5,000. So these are really inexpensive cars that do look nice. So with the car cleaned up and running great, it was time to see what it could really do on the highway. So we did the only sensible thing we could do. We took it to the Autobahn to find out what 58 horsepower feels like. Full send. We're getting on the Autobahn now. Lock in your bets. We're gonna try to see what the top speed is on this vehicle. We're going 100 kilometers an hour on the Autobahn, which is not super fast, but it is the speed limit. The car's quiet enough to have conversation. It took like 13 minutes to get to 100 kilometers an hour, but you know, it's not bad. Drives okay on the interstate. But here we go. I'm pedal to the metal right now. 130, 140. There's no way this thing gets to 150. It's 145 right now. We hit 150 going downhill. Just eased off of it. Someone cut in front of us, but we hit 150 going downhill. Not bad. Let's have a peek under the hood. You're either looking at a 660cc 3-cylinder or a 1000cc 3-cylinder engine. It runs, you know, not that fast, but it runs. The Mira's styling obviously pulls heavily from the original Mini Cooper and the Fiat 500. Just look at them side by side. Fortunately, there's a Fiat dealership right down the street from the hotel we're staying at here in Deutsch Wagram, so we can compare the Daihatsu Trevis against a Fiat 500. You can see very similar, right? You're talking about almost like English black cabs just scrunched up with a very retro aesthetic. You've got the circular kind of bulbous headlights on both that have the chrome bezels. The grille a little bit different on the Daihatsu, but I actually favor this. I like more of the bright work, more of the chrome. The Fiat just has the simple strip in the grille and then kind of like a body color mesh grille underneath it. That Fiat looks to be about the same size as our Daihatsu, but our Daihatsu is a 4-door with those 90-degree opening doors, while with that Fiat, you're getting just a 2-door. I believe that even has a back seat in it. It looks like it has a back seat. Dealership's about to call the police on us here. Yeah, there's a back seat back there. Can you imagine sitting in that? It'd be like John McCain in a Vietnam POW camp. Who wants to do that? You've got plenty of space in the back seat here, plus the trunk. Decently spacious trunk in here for your pumpkin seeds and your knives and your cowboy hats and scarves and your little road vest that you have to wear, like if you get into an accident or whatever here in Austria. Not bad. The design aesthetic a little bit different, but not much. And that's kind of what makes this car so appealing, is the design aesthetic. It's almost timeless. We got into this car, we didn't know if it was from the 90s, we didn't know if it was from the 2020s, and that's what kind of makes these so appealing. They're cute cars. One thing that's really uncommon in a car this class, it's got really nice alloy wheels. No poverty caps here. Come on, 2,500 bucks. Come on. Driving this car, if you've driven like any compact economy class rental car in the United States, pretty comparable. It's not anything to write home about, but at the same time, you're not buying this car because you're looking for a Boxster or something. You're just looking for an inexpensive, sensible, yet somewhat fashionable vehicle. And I think this ticks all those boxes. It's not very fast. There we go. Just that's hammer down right there. that was pedal to the metal. Not a very fast car, but that's okay because it looks cool. I like cars with this type of design where they're not dated. It isn't clearly a 20-year-old car. The maneuverability, the ability to park, like we parallel parked today in a very tight spot. Ryan said I couldn't do it. Ryan the doubter. Well, guess who's wrong? As usual, Ryan is. And I was shocked not only at how easy it was, but at how much space was still remaining whenever we got out of the car and we parked it. Ryan said there's no way you're going to be able to park this car in that space. Some of our buddies have seen us driving this because we're here for work. Some of our colleagues, they have mocked us. I resent that because I think that those are insecure human beings. I think this car is a vibe. If you're driving it, first of all, I'm not sure I'd go with like the cranberry color like we have here. I'd get maybe like a neutral color, and it's fine. Now, I've heard people call it, instead of the Miro, I've heard people call it the Doug DeMiro because it's a little fruity. But you know what? It's a mindset. It's a state of mind. And as long as you're confident, and you are truly confident, because people can sense whenever you're self-conscious about something. But if you drive this vehicle with confidence, I assure you, you're going to enjoy it, and everyone else, just like those men that we ran into, and you guys know who you are if you're watching this video. I know that you're actually jealous because this thing has a lot of swag. It's not a Mini, it's not a Fiat 500, and that's a compliment because those cars are kind of pieces of shit. This is a Casio of a car that is JDM fit, finish, and reliability. As I've said throughout this video, the Mira is a great car. It's not just good looking, if a little on the effeminate side, but it's genuinely functional, it's reliable, it's capable of cruising at freeway speeds. We topped this car out at just over 90 miles an hour on the Autobahn, and honestly, it held up better than I expected driving it all through Austria. Borders on road trip worthy. That said, if you're planning to run I-10 for 3 hours straight, maybe get something with a little more oomph. The cabin, surprisingly roomy, workable for 4 passengers, plus a little bit of stuff in the back. According to my buddies at Bulldog Auto Japan, you can land one of these in the States for $3 to $5 grand shipped, which is insane value. Dollar for dollar, one of the best driving, most fun cars I've ever spent time with. Yeah, it's a little weak, but it's stylish, it turns heads, and it's a blast to drive. Fuel economy, I wish I would have measured it because testimonials all over the place, anywhere from 30 to 60 miles per gallon, depending on who you ask and probably how hard they hit it. Martin and his family have put over 150,000 kilometers on this thing with no issues. Look, if you're self-conscious about driving what is, by all appearances, an Italianate Japanese Hello Kitty K car that looks like it would lose a fist fight to a Geo Metro, let me leave you with something Marcus, that's Martin's dad, told me before I drove away with it. He said his favorite thing about this car is that if you pick up a woman in a Porsche, there's a good chance she doesn't care who's driving it. But if you meet a woman with the Mira Gino and she gets in, you know that her heart's in the right place. Not only is this little car a handful to operate, but it's a rolling interpersonal purity test. Thanks to Martin for letting me borrow this car, and thank you guys for watching. Take care.